Mr. Chairman, thank you for this opportunity to sit in here. And really, I have more of a statement than I do a question. I've already had the displeasure of speaking with the U.S. Forrest Service multiple times in Atlanta, and I can tell you every time I hang up the phone, I'm more frustrated than I was when I picked up the phone. And mainly it's because of their lack of understanding. If I'm understanding it correctly, the U.S. Forest Service was designed to protect our forest for the next generation and preserve it for our kids to enjoy. And instead what they continue to do is hold our forest hostage. And now they're starting to hold our communities hostage by demanding repayments of the SRS. And our communities are already strangled enough. And in these hard economic times, it seems as though that the U.S. Forest Service has completely thrown that out the window. And now is demanding our schools to repay something that they're already using. The money's already been put to them. They're already using the money. They're already depending on the money. And because of the lack of management that the U.S. Forest Service has done with the forest surrounding these communities, because of their bad decisions, now they're continuing holding our schools hostage. My frustration comes in from the fact that there's no common sense that goes into U.S. Forest Service. And I know that's a rarity inside Washington, D.C., but as you stated, Mr. Tidwell, that the gentlemen working for the U.S. Forest Services live in these communities. Well, if that was true, then they should have a little bit of common sense. And that has completely been washed out. I went to a park recently in Shady Lane, which is outside of Heber, Oklahoma, that half the park flooded once in 50 years, and the U.S. Forest Service has it shut down. And when I went to that park, a convoy of U.S. Forest Service employees showed up. I showed up, there were 3 people, and all of us rode in my truck. A convoy of individuals showed up, all driving brand new Ford Explorers. And now they're asking for 10% or more money to acquire 10% more forest land, which they're not even funding, or they're not even managing right now. And now you're asking our schools to repay the money when you guys have mismanaged your money to begin with. When does it stop? The insanity continues to go farther and farther down the line. And if they continue to hold, if the U.S. Forest Service continues to hold our communities hostage, and they're continuing to hold my kids hostage, my kids' future hostage, and most people's in here's kids hostage, I can tell you it's going to become my mission to expose the U.S. Forest Service at every turn. If you can't manage it, then give it back to the states. I'm so tired as a landowner myself, having the federal government walk on our properties and walk on the lands that generations that I come from. I'm Cherokee. I understand how to take care of our lands. We take pride in our lands, and yet we can't even take care of the community we live in because of some people in Atlanta making bad decisions. Common sense does play in it. And if Atlanta can't make the decisions, then give those that work in those areas the authority to make common sense decisions. Mr. Chairman, I yield back the rest of my time.